You know this feeling. You leave a conversation, and at first, everything feels normal, but then your brain presses replay. You hear your own voice again, talking, explaining, sharing. You remember the moment you leaned forward and said, "Yeah, that happened to me too." And you kept going. Maybe it was a story, maybe it was your opinion, maybe you were just excited. But now, in hindsight, it feels like you dominated the room. Your chest tightens, your face feels warm, and a thought appears. Why did I talk so much about myself? You replay their expressions. Did they look bored? Did they try to speak? Did I interrupt? You start editing the memory. Next time I'll talk less. Next time I'll just listen. Next time I won't take up so much space. And here's the strange part. No one told you that you did anything wrong. No one criticized you. No one called you selfish. But you feel guilty. Like you violated an invisible social rule. Like you stepped outside the acceptable amount of visibility. And now your system wants you smaller, quieter, less. But this isn't a personality flaw. It's biology. Your brain has what we can call a belonging protection system. Its job is simple: protect connection, protect status, protect acceptance. For most of human history, being rejected by the group was not awkward. It was dangerous. So your nervous system evolved to constantly scan. Are we liked? Are we balanced? Did we take too much space? Let me show you how this works in real life. Imagine you're sitting with 3 people. Someone shares a story about their job. You relate, so you say, "That reminds me of something that happened to me." You start explaining. Everyone is listening. But midway through your story, one person checks their phone. Another looks away for a second. That's it. Nothing dramatic. No one interrupts you. No one criticizes you. No one rolls their eyes. But your system records that tiny shift. Later that night, your brain zooms into that exact moment. The phone check, the eye movement, the pause. And it asks, "Did we lose the room?" That's the belonging protection system activating. It replays the conversation like security footage. It scans micro expressions. It analyzes tone shifts. It checks for imbalance. And if it detects even the slightest uncertainty, it triggers shame. Not because you did something immoral, but because your system thinks visibility might equal vulnerability. It would rather make you feel small than risk you being excluded. That guilt you feel, it's not a moral verdict. It's a safety reflex. Your brain is not punishing you. It's protecting you. The problem is, it sometimes mistakes normal human sharing for social danger. And when protection overshoots, it feels like shame. So why does your brain do this? Why does it trigger shame after something as normal as talking about yourself? Because your brain treats social rejection like physical pain. Neuroscience has shown that the same regions activated during physical injury also activate during social exclusion. In a well-known study by Naomi Eisenberger, participants were excluded from a simple online ball-tossing game. Even though it was virtual, and even though they knew it wasn't real, their brains activated the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex, the same region involved in processing physical pain. In other words, to your brain, rejection is not symbolic, it is biological. So when you suspect you may have talked too much, when you sense even a tiny shift in someone's attention, your nervous system doesn't label it as minor social awkwardness. It labels it as potential exclusion. That same anterior cingulate cortex activates. At the same time, your amygdala, your threat detector, evaluates uncertainty. A small facial expression change, a delayed response, a phone glance, your amygdala flags it as possible risk. Then your prefrontal cortex begins replaying the event, analyzing it, running simulations. What did we do wrong? How do we prevent this next time? This replay process is not vanity. It is neural error correction. Your brain is trying to adjust your social behavior to reduce the chance of rejection. And shame? Shame is the emotion that enforces that adjustment. It creates enough discomfort to make you more cautious next time. From a neurological perspective, shame is not punishment. It is regulation. Its function is simple: maintain connection, preserve belonging, prevent exclusion. The issue is not that this system exists. The issue is sensitivity. If your threat detection threshold is slightly lower than average, normal social moments can trigger correction signals. So a neutral expression feels like disapproval, a small pause feels like rejection, and your brain overcorrects, not because you are fragile, but because your neural alarm is finely tuned. And when a finely tuned alarm misreads the signal, it feels like guilt. And when a finely tuned alarm misreads the signal, it feels like guilt. But here's something important. An alarm is not the problem. A miscalibrated alarm is. You wouldn't smash a fire alarm just because it went off too easily. You would adjust its sensitivity. And your belonging system is no different. It is not broken, it is protective. It just learned to treat normal visibility as potential danger. So, the real question isn't, how do I stop feeling this? The real question is, how do I retrain the alarm? Because once you understand that this reaction is protective, you stop fighting it. And when you stop fighting it, you can start recalibrating it. Here's how. 1. The evidence protocol. Your brain reacts to uncertainty, not facts. After a conversation, it replays small moments and fills the gaps with worst-case assumptions. So, we replace assumption with evidence. After you feel guilt, ask, did someone interrupt me? Did someone disengage clearly? Did anyone respond or relate back? If people responded, nodded, asked something back, that means engagement existed. Your brain zooms in on the one neutral moment and ignores the 5 positive ones. This protocol forces cognitive correction. You are not arguing with your emotions. You are updating the data. Shame loses power when uncertainty disappears. 2. The exposure recalibration. Train the nervous system. Logic alone will not fix this. Your nervous system learns through exposure. So, here's what you do. In your next conversation, intentionally share one full story. Don't rush it, don't apologize, don't shrink afterward. Then sit with the discomfort. Let your system feel the risk. And notice something important. Nothing catastrophic happens. No rejection, no social exile, no humiliation. When you repeatedly survive visibility, your brain updates its threat threshold. You don't overcome this by talking less. You overcome it by proving to your system that safe visibility exists. 3. The protection reframe. When guilt hits, don't say, I'm so self-centered. Say, my brain is trying to protect belonging. This sentence matters because shame attaches to identity, but protection attaches to biology. When you frame it as protection, you remove moral judgment. You stop fighting yourself. And when you stop fighting yourself, the reaction softens naturally. You are not correcting your personality. You are recalibrating your nervous system. If this reaction was a flaw, evolution would have removed it. But it didn't. Because groups don't survive on boldness alone. They survive on awareness. The people who never replay conversations are not necessarily more confident. They are just less socially attuned. But you monitor impact. You track balance. You care about how your presence affects others. That is not weakness. That is social intelligence. Yes, carrying a sensitive belonging radar comes with a cost. You may overthink. You may shrink sometimes. You may feel guilt where none is required. But the world does not suffer from too many people who care about balance. It suffers from too many who don't. You were never too much. You were never socially broken. You were simply wired with a finely tuned connection system. And once you learn to calibrate it, instead of silence, it becomes influence. Instead of guilt, it becomes emotional intelligence. So the next time you leave a conversation and that familiar shame begins to rise, pause, take a breath, and remember, you don't feel guilty because you're selfish. You feel guilty because connection matters to you. And caring about connection is not a flaw, it's human. And if you've ever walked home replaying a conversation like this, if this feeling is something you recognize in yourself, you can share that in the comments. Not because something is wrong with you, but because sometimes it helps to see that you're not the only one who feels this way.